Welcome back everyone to my weekly roundup of the 5 most interesting games I played last week. This time including a MOBA/TD mashup, a retro strategy RPG, a casual Battlefield-inspired shooter, a beautifully hand-drawn Metroidvania platformer, and a polished turn-based RPG with a very high-quality English voiceover. As always, I want to focus only on the essentials in this video, but if you want to see more of each game, check the video links in the description down below for the full videos, and be sure to stick around till the end of this one to hear what my favorite game of the week was. So now, let's just jump right into the games. Phantomgate is a Norse mythology-inspired adventure turn-based RPG mixed with platformer and gacha elements, which provides a fun and surprisingly fresh take on the genre while not exactly reinventing the wheel. The English voiceover is just phenomenal in this game, and the story engaged me very early on as well, proving that it's more than just a quick slap-on. The core gameplay has us take 4 heroes into combat, each with 3 unique skills, and in between fights, these skills and the heroes themselves can be enhanced and leveled up, a typical gacha RPG system actually. The game is very generous with the premium currency, and while gacha systems of course always allows us to unlock things faster if we pay, I feel like the pay to win and pay to progress faster isn't pushed too heavily in Phantomgate, which I'm really glad to see. Because of the high quality, unique twist on the genre and relatively relaxed monetization, I would argue that this is a game you might end up liking even if you don't typically play gacha RPGs. The game requires a constant online connection, it takes up 665 megabytes of space, it's out on Android and iOS, and my final verdict is that you should definitely play it if you're intrigued by the idea of a gacha RPG but have never played one before, or if you know all about these types of games already but you're looking for a fresh take on the genre. Toy Odyssey is a difficult 2D Metroidvania action platformer with roguelike elements such as randomly generated levels, which takes place in a beautifully hand-drawn house where the toys have come to life, just like in Toy Story really. And we take on the role of an action figure trying to defend the house against the evil toys who have taken over. The core gameplay of going on an adventure through the many rooms of the house as we solve quests and collect nuts and scrap parts to level up gear and the bedroom home base is very enjoyable, and I felt like I was 100% in control of the character movement, which sadly cannot be said for every mobile platformer. However, the game is very punishing and the combat isn't particularly interesting, which causes many people to give up on the huge grind required to finish the game, or spend money on acquiring more nuts, which is an in-game currency, to progress faster. Still, a great experience overall, and certainly very unique. You can play the game offline, it takes up 425 megabytes of space, it's out both on Android and iOS, and my final verdict is that you should definitely play it if you're the type of person that doesn't mind the grind and just love platformers and RPGs. Tacticool is a new 5 vs 5 tactical shooter with a Dota 2-like isometric third-person view mixed with Battlefield-like combat, including a realistic art style, a simple gameplay objective, lots of weapons, and vehicles such as cars that we can even drive around the small map and shoot from. With both offline playable training matches versus bots and online matches with friends and random online players that take only 1 minute, thus ensuring a fast matchmaking, the game is surprisingly well made, and I've had a lot of fun with it this week. The intuitive control setup uses a left side joystick to move around, and swiping anywhere on the right side aims our gun, which automatically fires when an opponent is in sight. This was one of the best control systems I've tried in any shooter on mobile, and it made the game very easy to get into as a new player. The game monetizes through selling skins, weapons, and a monthly club pass, which increases the chances of receiving better rewards after every match. Although most weapons are unlocked through in-game gold, some can be bought directly for premium currency, which sadly means that the game is a bit pay to win, especially in the early levels before better guns have been unlocked through playing. The single player aspect of the game can be played offline, it takes up 301 megabytes of space, it's available both on Android and iOS, but you have to sign up for the beta, and my final verdict is that you should definitely play it if you're looking for a casual yet serious shooter. Stone Arena is a single and real-time multiplayer game that mixes the tower defense elements of placing units on a map with casual mobile elements of protecting a home base while running around with a main character trying to take down the opponent. Although we walk around the very small map extremely slowly, the combat, especially in the 3 vs 3 game mode, feels chaotic even with only one hero ability, but in a good way. And with 1 vs 1, 3 vs 3, ranks, and custom game modes, there's a lot to get into with this game. Although we are most definitely fighting bots bots due to the lack of players right now. I did actually have a lot of fun with this game, but the monetization has us unlock new units to deploy through free as well as paid loot boxes, which I'm personally afraid will make the combat a bit pay to win later on, especially if there aren't enough players to get matched against people with similar power, but only time can really tell how that will turn out. The game requires an online connection, it takes up 960 megabytes of space, it's available both on Android and iOS, and my final verdict is that you should consider playing it if you enjoy tower defense and MOBA games, as Stone Arena is a great mix of the two. Reversi Quest 2 is an old-school, single-player fantasy RPG with SNES-like graphics based on the Reversi strategy board game, which means we take turns placing units on a grid-based map, dealing damage or healing whenever we surround an opposing unit, which also, by the way, converts the unit to our side. Turn to the dark side, Luke. The maps often include interesting traps and treasure chests, and in between combat, we move around a dungeon-like world, picking up new items from chests, healing, and so on. The strategic combat is just great in this game, and the RPG elements are satisfyingly deep, with every character having an HP, MP, critical, hit, and guard stats, with items and potions then modifying these stats. There are no ads or pay-to-win/pay-to-progress, but the full game unlocks at $8 and currently includes about 20 hours of gameplay, with the next update arriving in mid-November 2018, according to the developer. The game can be played offline, it takes up 125 megabytes of space, it's out on Android only for now, sadly, and my final verdict is that you should definitely play it if you enjoy RPGs, as it's my favorite game of the week. Thanks for watching, let me know which game was your favorite, and until next time, just keep gaming, stay awesome, and I'll see you guys around.